and Joseph Jones, Mason Spencer. You guys jump in, say hello. Let's start with Martin Hallway.
Hi, I'm Martin Hawley, and I am still on Long Island, but I'm supposed to start at Keller coming up after this COVID stuff gets over. So I'm making my way there.
Okay, so you're in Long Island right now?
I am, yes. I'm a pastor here, and I'm trying to finish things up to get down to Atlanta.
Oh, well, welcome to the South. Welcome to Atlanta. I actually grew up there, so I know where you are. We're in Long Island.
East Mauritius.
Okay, okay. I lived for a little while out in Long Beach.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I have a friend there. Yeah.
So welcome. How long have you been selling real estate?
I've done it off and on for a number of years, but
okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome. And then we have Bill Schulte, who has been around forever, like me. Hey, Bill.
How are you? I'm excited to be here and attend this.
Okay, great. Hopefully I will live up to your expectations.
No doubt.
Tell everyone a little bit about you.
Oh, I believe in working hard and going what I'm after, and that's it in a nutshell.
Okay, great. And then we have Jessica on the line, on the call. Hey, Jessica. You can unmute yourself. All right, well, we'll come back to Jessica. Evan Johnson. Okay, we'll come back to Evan.
So, I'm sorry. Actually, you wouldn't know this, but it's Michelle Johnson. Evan is my son, and he was using my laptop to do his online school today. So I put his name in there so his classmates wouldn't think his name was Michelle, and I forgot to change it back to my name. Hi there.
How are you?
I'm well, and I don't have my face showing right now because I don't look my best right now. So
we don't have to look our best on Zoom. That's the good part about it. Should I stand up? No, just kidding. I do have on pants.
But I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited to hear excited to hear the secret sauce.
Okay, good. Okay, and then next we have Jackie Borland. Hey, Jackie. Do you know how to unmute yourself?
Hey there, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Sorry about that. Actually, when she said that's my son's name, my daughter said, "Mom, I think you're me." So I was in the same situation. My daughter was the last one to use Zoom, so it said Jessica. I was just changing that real quickly. Okay. Good morning. I'm Jackie Borland, Keller Williams out of South Austin. And this is my 3rd year in real estate, so somewhat still a rookie. Things are going well.
So you're out of South Austin?
Yeah, out of Market Center 1.
Oh,
but
awesome.
I live just south of Austin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mostly work in Hayes County.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool. Happy to be here.
Okay, great. Okay, so next we have Lauren Loeffler. Lauren, if you'd like to unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I am here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I have been in the business for about 20 years. The first half of it, I was part-time because I worked a corporate job, but I've been full-time for several years now. And I'm just very interested in hearing what you have to teach us today.
Okay, great. And I'm excited for you to be here. Next, we have Brian. Brian, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and give us your last name? Brian, are you there? Just unmute yourself. Okay, we're going to skip Brian and we're going to move on to Brittany Lefhart. Hey, Brittany, how are you?
Hey, it's Brittany Leapart. I am actually at First Atlanta.
Yay!
Yay! I have been in real estate for 2 years next month, and I've actually taken your class in person before. It was phenomenal and a game changer. So I'm excited to take it again.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. Oh, I'm so happy you're here then. Great. Oh, I'm glad. So did it help you the last time?
It did. The last time I took it, it was like right as COVID was starting.
Okay.
And yeah, it was great for me. So
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Oh, great. Oh, I'm so glad. Joseph Jones, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm a part of Keller Williams First Atlanta here, and on the fourth floor, just ready to get started with the listing machine.
Great. How long have you been selling real estate?
Since 2012.
Congratulations. Awesome. All right. Well, welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Quick question, Nick. I've got somebody asking for a code to get in. Is there some kind of a code?
There shouldn't be, but there is a password on here, so I can get that for you.
Yeah. What is the password?
Let me pull it up for you real quickly. It is 57
57
1757.
1757. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. Hope you can get in. All right, cool. All right. Then we have, did we talk to Joseph Jones? Oh, yes, we did.
Yes, you did.
Well, you're
Thanks
on the
a lot.
floor. Sorry about that. Okay. Mason
I feel special.
Spencer. Well, no, I did remember. I just looked at his name and called it out. And then I went, wait a second, we've already talked to him. Okay. So put your face on there. This way I can see you.
Okay.
Mason Spencer, are you there?
Yes. Hey, I'm Mason Spencer, and I am in the city side office in Smyrna.
Oh, okay. Hey,
And,
welcome.
Thank you. And I have been a realtor since really the beginning of the year.
Okay.
So fairly new to the business.
Perfect. Perfect. This is going to be a great class for you.
Thanks.
John B., who have we got there? I have a funny feeling I know who this is.
John Bennett in Atlanta, KWF First Atlanta.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. You're not who I thought you were, but
No.
his name is
Sorry about
that. Okay, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, great. And then we have Debbie Braun. Are you there, Debbie?
Sorry, I'm packing. I was walking out the door, which is why
you're good.
I'm actually on my way to the office to go pick up my MREA book for some
Oh,
recruits.
cool. Well,
so I was listening to your class on the way, so you caught me right as I was walking on the door, and that's why you don't have my picture.
Well,
but,
actually, this is going to be page 138 in the MREA book.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good.
Don't you love it when a plan comes together?
Exactly. Oh my goodness, I am very excited for you.
But one of my main ways of getting listings was networking and door knocking.
Gotcha. Okay.
Neither of which we can do right now.
Well, I've got a few more little tricks besides door knocking, and I'll show them to you.
But yeah, that's why I'm excited to be in your class. And thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, absolutely. Sunny Harris. Are you there, Sunny? It is Sunny, right? Yes. S-U-N-N-I. Unmute yourself. All right, that's okay. We're going to skip over her, and when you get on, just chime in. Then we have, let's see, Latoya Hunt. Unmute yourself. Oh, well, let's go on to Rudiger.
Hi, yes, I've been with Keller Williams for like a year and 4 months. And I've had a few listings, but in all those cases, I knew the buyer ahead of time. So I'm eager to get some listings that I need to market.
Awesome. As a matter of fact, we talked the other day, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, well, welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Victoria Mucci. Okay. I'm going to go on to Delrisa Rollerson. How long have you been in the business, Delisa?
Hey everybody, I've been in the business for about 1.5 years.
Okay. And how are you doing?
I'm doing actually pretty good. My husband and I, we flip properties. So I initially started because of that. So I've been flipping properties for about 18 years. So as far as being on the real estate end as a realtor, that's I'm a newbie as far as that's concerned.
Okie dokie. Well, on the real estate side, we're going to get you in front of people, or try to.
Great, thank you.
Next, we have Summer Mallory.
Hey there.
Hey there.
So I'm based out of Keller Williams, First Atlanta, and I've only been doing it for 1 month, so I am a newbie.
Well, congratulations. Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Latoya Hunt, did you figure out how to unmute? Latoya? That's okay. All right, let's try. I think we got everybody, so let's go ahead and get started because I don't want to, take up too much time here. So if you notice, we start out with a very positive attitude, and that is that we are going to be able to say that we can do it. So every agent, every agent has an attitude, and they kind of sort of start out at the bottom. Hold on one second. Let me get back to that slide. Sorry about this. This is my first Zoom one doing it this way. So the first part is that everybody sits around saying to themselves, I won't do it. And then they think to themselves, they can't do it. But then they think, well, I really want to do it, but how do I do it? And next you're going to say, I'll try to do it. And then you have success and you say to yourself, yeah, I can do it. And then you say, I will continue to do it. And then you say, yes, I did it. I'm at the closing table. I got my check. So that's an awesome place to be. All right, so let's get started. Most of what we learn when we're in real estate, and anybody was just in the most recent class of Pivot with Bold, we all learned that mindset is a huge part of being able to do real estate. Actually, mindset is really a huge part of being able to do anything. So anybody that has ever been in athletics knows that there's 3 ways. They did a test on athletes, and there were 3 ways that they taught those athletes to see who was going to have the best success. So the first group of athletes, they told them to do nothing. They told them to just rest and not think about anything and not play their game. The second group of athletes, what they told them was, we want you to go every single day and practice. And practice, practice, practice. So let's just relate it to basketball. So every day those guys got out there and they were just shooting the basketball into the hoop and practice, practice, practice. The third group of athletes, they took them, and what they did with them was they said, we want you to every day sit quietly and close your eyes and picture yourself making a basket. Just close your eyes and make that basket. So what they found was the group that did nothing, obviously nothing happened and their game did not improve. The group that went out every single day that practiced, their game actually improved because they were practicing every day. The third group, believe it or not, that all they did was sit and focus on the task, were equal to the ones that got up every day and went out and practiced. So with that being said, mindset is a huge thing. So I'm going to ask you a question. Something happens in your life, and let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I've been selling real estate for about 25 years, and I started in 1996 because I had a little girl and I had to figure out a way to keep a roof over our heads and put food on the table. I was a single mom and I needed to get out there. I started real estate without a car, which is really unusual. Some people, I don't know if anyone else has ever started real estate without a car, but I did. I went to real estate school. I got my license. And as soon as I got my license, I joined a firm. It was a very traditional firm. And right down the street from the house that I was living in was a for sale by owner. And so I decided that I was going to knock on that for sale by owner's door. And I was going to knock and knock and knock until he said yes. So I did for a month. I kept going after that for sale by owner. I kept telling him all the reasons why he should list his property with this brand new little agent over here that was in a traditional real estate firm, and told him all about the traditional real estate firm because that's what I used as my background, because I didn't have any as a real estate agent. I mean, I did have some sales background, but I didn't have it in real estate. And, you know, I wondered if I could actually do it even, you know, as a lot of new people wonder every single day. Anyway, every day I bothered that man until finally one day he said, yes, I will list my house with you. And I was like, yay. So I got the sign, I listed his property, I took my sign, I put it right in the yard. But once again, I didn't have a car. So every day I walked down to his cul-de-sac and I got the sign from my office and I put an open house sign out every single day on the road that led to the house. And every single day I went down there and I sat in that house and I waited for people to come. You know, the movie, I think it's called Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. I figured, well, if I put my sign out, they will come. And sure enough, they did. And so I found this little couple that came in. Now, many people came through, but I finally found somebody. There was a cute little couple. They had cute little children. The children actually were the same age as my daughter, which was excellent. So that gave us a lot to chat about. And I made an appointment with them. I went to their house. I listed their house. And that was my second listing now. So look at that. I had an open house and got a listing from it. So I went directly to their house. I listed their house, wrote up the contract again, went to the office, and as I got in the office, the #1 agent in the office, and I'll tell y'all her name. She's actually retired now, living on a beach somewhere because she's living off of profit sharing from Keller Williams, and her name was Sarah Farah, and she was the #1 agent not only in our office, but she was the #1 agent in Cobb County, which was amazing. So I said to Sarah, I'm so excited I got a listing. She goes, oh my goodness, where is it? So I told her and she goes, I have a buyer. She goes, just let's go, call your people right now and tell them that we want to come see the house. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So I got on the dial phone in the office because that was way back when, and it cost you money when you were using your cell phone. So I called the people and I said, hey, I've got somebody that wants to come by and see the house. Would it be okay? And they were like, sure. She went by, they saw it, they loved it, and they wrote a contract. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I've just put my first one under contract. Now, she was kind enough that she said to me, because we were out of the same office, she said, would you like for me to present the offer to your people? And I said, absolutely. So I got to watch the #1 agent in my office do a appointment with a seller to give them all the information about their buyer, which was very interesting. Anyway, long story short, we closed on that. I immediately went to the Jeep dealership. I got a brand new car. Took my commission check, and I had wheels, and oh my goodness, I was unstoppable after that. So the point of this is that if you go in the office and you talk to people about for sale by owners, they're going to have a certain mindset because something has happened to whoever that person is, and they're going to relate it to you. So what I'm going to tell you is anything that people tell you, listen to them because it's a polite, but walk away with that positive mindset, because you just heard an amazing story of an agent who was able to secure a for sale by owner, get another for basically listing from it, get a sale from it, and then get a buyer from it. So out of that one transaction with the for sale by one transaction with that for sale by owner, I was able to create three transactions. It's hard to see myself over here on this little itty bitty screen. I don't even know who I'm talking to. This is crazy. I think I like it better in a room setting, but that's okay. I wish everybody would turn on their video so I can see your faces. I just see your pictures, of which are lovely, but I don't care if you're in your pajamas and in bed. It's fine. Just turn it on. Okay, so something happens and it's all good. So what happens next? Oh, good. You turned on your machine. Yay. Okay, so what happens next is you have a reaction to whatever just happened. And so what just happened was the fact that I got a listing. So you might have talked to a negative person, and your reaction to a for sale by owner might be, uh-oh, I'm not sure I want to go down that road. So the next thing that happens from that reaction that you get to something is you form a judgment. Well, the judgment that I formed about for sale by owners was that, oh my goodness, you can do anything with these people. They have a sign out in front of their yard and they're all raising their hands saying, help me, because clearly this for sale by owner tried to sell his house for a long time and was unsuccessful at it. And I came in and I was able to sell his house for him, actually several. It took a minute because his house had a little bit of problems, but I eventually 90 days later did a closing for that gentleman. So my judgment of being able to take on the for sale by owner was that it was a good thing and I was able to secure it. So I got it. So I formed a good judgment from it and I got paid from it, which gave me a really good judgment of it. So in our heads, when we hear either a positive story about something or a negative story about something, we are making up a story in our heads. So I just told you my story, and somebody, you know, that you meet that's another realtor might tell you their story of what happened. What I'm telling every single person that's listening is that make your own story, because your story is the one that counts. And it all goes back to the way that you decide that you have your mindset. Because if your mindset is set in a positive way, all positive things are going to happen. If your mindset is set in a negative way, all negative things are going to happen. Once you make up that story, what you do is you search for evidence to support your story that you've made up for yourself. And that's what I did. Obviously, my supporting evidence was that more business comes from for sale by owners, and more business comes from open houses. A lot of agents will tell you they don't do open houses. At Keller Williams, I've found, though, is that a good percentage of people do open houses to go and get those buyers. I do open houses for two reasons. I do open houses so I can get another listing, so I can get more buyers. It is super, super, super important that you remember that listings is where everything comes from, because you will be able to double your income by doing listings. You will be able to be sitting on a boat in the middle of the ocean in Greece and do a listing, have a listing, and be able to make money while you're on that boat. If you have a buyer, you have to be in town for that buyer at their beck and call to take them wherever you want to go, wherever they want to go. So a listing will allow you to have a huge business as opposed to a very, tough business. If you look at the MREA book, I challenge anybody that's either read it or knows about it or can tell me what page in the MREA book is the first page that Gary Keller even mentions a buyer. It's well after page 100, I will tell you that. Because Gary Keller, the majority of what he talks about is listings. Next. So my evidence, obviously, for a sale by owner was definitely very positive. So by having that evidence that I've searched for, you literally can predict your future. So from that first for sale by owner, I predicted my future by saying that by calling on that piece of the pie, the for sale by owner piece of the pie, that I will be able to always make money in real estate. So I know that if tomorrow I left Atlanta and moved to Wisconsin, let's say, not Kenosha, I'm just kidding. But if I moved to Wisconsin, I would be able to make money, wouldn't I? Because who am I going to call? I'm going to go to the newspaper, or I'm going to go online, or I'm going to go to Zillow, or I'm going to go to wherever it is that I can find for sale by owners, or I'm going to get in my car and drive around. When I first started real estate, I leased a car. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. I had 36,000 miles on my car in the first year because all I did was drive around looking for sale by owners, you know? I mean, we had the newspaper and I used to circle them, but at the same time, I was still driving around because not everybody advertised in the newspaper. So I was driving the neighborhoods every single Tuesday. I was going on those caravans, looking for houses, looking at houses, understanding floor plans. So this is your job and you need to take it seriously. And part of your job is to understand your market and to go out and search your market to see what else other people are doing. But that for sale by owner, I can honestly tell you, is not a mean person. They're a person that is literally going like this, raising their hand to say, hey, help me. I don't know what I'm doing. In California, I'm going to give you an example. I helped my friend sell a house in California. It was a $2 million house in Encino. And we sold it in 10 days. We put it on the market for sale by owner. In California, you can't sell a house that way. You have to hire a realtor. So we had to hire a realtor to come in and do all the paperwork. The California people have their sphere of people in California completely just channeled to having to hire their real estate agent. So in Georgia, we need to do the same thing. We live in a very litigious society. So it's very good to tell people that you need a realtor to do all the proper forms, all the proper information, all the proper everything. Okay, so this is hard because I want people to interact here. Does anybody have a question?
No, not so far.
Not so far. Okay, great. Thanks, Joseph, for jumping in. Anybody else? Does anybody else have a question? Or can you, is there anything else that I can elaborate on here? So I want to ask everybody that's on this call, how many people, who has met with a for sale by owner? Bill Schulte, tell me your story.
I try to do that on a relatively regular basis. Exactly as you said, if a for sale by owner is a serious seller, they are happy to see you because their first and foremost goal is get their house sold.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
they're open to a conversation.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So what you're doing when you first go see a for sale by owner is you're making friends. We're not looking to list the house. We're just looking to see the house. Quite frankly, when I go see a for sale by owner, I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to list their house anyway. Because if I'm going to spend my hard-earned marketing dollars on their house, I want to make sure that we're in sync, that their house is up to my standards as to whether or not I want to market it for them. Because I want to make sure that everybody's on board. And you can't bully your way with them. You have to just make friends. So, and it's awesome to make friends with those for sale by owners. Okay, let's move on. Any other questions? Okay, so what I'm going to recommend is that everybody get yourself a copy of the Millionaire Real Estate book, because Page 138 is what we're going to talk about today. And I call it, I have a little bit different take on it after I read it, and that's how I developed this whole class. But it came out of page 138 of the MREA book. So I created a money pie. And agents are really funny. Every agent that's on this call has a different piece of this pie. Can you see my hand? Okay. Every has a different piece of the pie that they're going to be focused in on. Okay. So I'm going to start with the first piece of the pie that is going to be for sale by owners. So for years and years and years, I made a very good living off of for sale by owners. Some real estate agents feel as though they have to be all over the place in order to make money. Martin Hawley, I want to call on you. Martin, you live in New York City, correct? Or New York?
Long Island, yeah.
In Long Island.
About an hour away.
About an hour away from New York City. New York's a big place, isn't it, Martin?
It is.
Okay. So if I live in Manhattan and I call you up and I say, hey, Martin, I'd like for you to list my house in Manhattan. What do you want to do?
I would stick with my local area and probably refer you to somebody in Manhattan.
Good answer, Martin. And that's exactly what you should do. I have made an incredible living within 5-mile radius of my house listing houses. So what you want to do is you want to be able to get on Zillow. This is where I actually find my for sale by owners. I go on Zillow. Bill, you might want to share where you get yours. I go on Zillow and I put a little thing on Zillow in there to do my zip code. Or I will go on Zillow and put in a city, for example, Marietta. Or I will go on Zillow and put another zip code. But I'm always staying within that 5-mile radius of my house, because if I list something that's really far away, it's just, I mean, it's hard for me to do, and it's hard for the people to appreciate. And just sometimes I just made a really good living right around my house. I'm not saying not go to Roswell or not go to Alpharetta or not go to Buckhead or wherever. I'm just saying that if you live on the south side of Atlanta and you decide that the north side of Atlanta has higher, price points, don't do it. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to be running yourself ragged to go to appointments, and they may or may not list with you. And there you went, spending an hour in a car one way and an hour in a car another way, when you could have listed 10, $300,000 houses right down the street from where you live. So it's super, super, super important to stay in your area and become that local expert. Okay. Next, who do we talk to? Expired listings. Oh, wait a second. Bill Schulte, I was calling on you. Where do you find your for sale by owners?
I use a service called Mojo. They provide me with a dialer, and also for sale, I subscribe to their for sale by owners, and I also subscribe to their expireds, which is where we're going now.
This is where we're going next. And actually, I was going to talk about the dialers with the expireds, only because for sale by owners are easy to find. So if you don't want to spend the money to get the dialer, because some of them are a little expensive. I go a very cheap route, but some people go a little more expensive route. I'm very penny wise, are very frugal. I shouldn't say penny wise and dollar foolish, because I'm not, because I do spend money when I need to and where I need to, or where I know it's going to make me money. But I don't waste money on stuff. So expireds are the next place where you find gold, shall we say. And expireds are even more fun, because expireds have had, Bill, do you do expireds?
Yes, I do.
And do you love expireds?
In a way, I gave a very brief introduction on myself earlier, but probably, 3/4 of my real estate career has been in new home sales, Probably 3/4 of that pie in new homes has been in sales management, going around the country and replacing various vice presidents. And part of that is really an expired presentation, because a home builder has subdivisions that are dead, they're not working. So they hire me and I go there and I do an analysis and figure out pricing and incentives so that it sells.
Exactly.
It expires.
Exactly. Expireds are a lot of fun. I love expireds. I mean, I'm an expired specialist at this point. So about 2 years ago, I went to a little Christmas party, and it was my daughter's tennis Christmas party. And at that Christmas party, I met a girl, and she was as sweet as she could be, and she'd been in real estate not very long. I mean, so she was telling me, actually, she was with Keller Williams, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'm thinking about going with Keller Williams. And she said, oh, you should, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, that's great. I said, how are you doing this year? And she said, oh, I'm doing really good. And I said, oh, that's good. I said, what, she said she was on a team. I said, oh, that's awesome. And she said, I said, how's your business been? She goes, oh my gosh, awesome. She said, I've closed. Did you hear that word, closed? I've closed 47 expireds. I said, you did what? And I mean, this woman, I mean, she was like, I mean, you would never know that she just did 47 expired listings. I mean, and sold them. She goes, oh yeah. She goes, they're so awesome. They're wonderful. She's on a team, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, that is really, really cool. So my for sale by owner, I mean, this piece of the pie, for years I ignored. About 2 years ago, I decided to not ignore it any longer. And I did exactly what Bill did. I got a dialer, and there's a variety of different ones that are out there. And I would write this down if I were y'all. One is called Mojo, which is the one that he uses. There's another one called Land Voice, I think it is. They supply you also. There's another one called Arch Agent. They supply you with stuff. There's another one that's called, if you got lots of money, go to Vulcan 7, right, Bill? And they've got a really amazing program that they do. But they all offer a variety of different things that you can get. My suggestion is to get all of the things that are applicable to you. So for me, for sale by owners are important, expireds are important, and we're going to talk about something called circle prospecting. To me, that's very important. So all three of those things are super, super, super important. Okie dokie. So now, does anybody have a question about expireds? So I'm going to tell you that this year, so this month, which is really amazing, I think that was really cool. I was number 12 for the month of August. And so thank you. And so let me think for a second. One listing that I sold was from expireds. One listing that I sold was from, believe it or not, Facebook advertising for Keller Offers. Another one was YouTube advertising through Zillow. Another one was just a agent that brought me, no, two of them were from my YouTube advertising. Two of them were from YouTube advertising. So yeah, so I mean, all of that business that came to me was all through my efforts using these various different techniques that I'm showing you, which is very, very cool. So at the end of the year, I will look back at 2020 to say, well, where did all my listings come from? Because if you'll notice, if you look me up, you're going to see that, 80, 90% of my sales are my listings. The other 10 to 15, maybe 20% are buyers. I really, really, really focus hard in on those listings. But I do enjoy the buyers. And at some point, you should hire a buyer's agent if you want to be a listing specialist. But anyway, that's another story. That's another class. All right, so expireds are super, super important to your business. Can somebody else besides Bill tell me if they've ever worked expireds? Okay, so I'm assuming nobody else. So wow, that is a huge piece of pie that you need to definitely bite into, because it will definitely increase your sales.
And may I just jump in and make one statement?
Sure.
The statement that I was going to make is I have heard from so many agents that they don't want to call expireds because all of the agents out there are calling them. And this is just an example that, you know what?
Call me
Maybe all the agents out there are not calling them. And when I do have somebody that say you're the 50th agent that is called today, and I do hear that at times, I would go, wow, that is great. Do you realize that there's 98,000 licensed real estate agents in Georgia? There's about 36,000 in the metro Atlanta area. And that means that 50 of those 36,000 are actually working. And reframing their thought suddenly goes, oh. So it's always been good.
So what I'm going to say about that, which is really cool, and I completely agree with you, is that the people, when you talk to them, it's really quite interesting because they're very nice to you. And I usually actually start off by saying to them, am I the 50th agent that has called you today? I don't even wait for them to tell me that I am. I just, assume that I am, which is kind of, probably crazy to do it that way. But I start off that way with them, which is kind of funny. But I get it. It's definitely, wait a minute, hold on. I lost my train of thought here because I had to fix my screen. Sorry. But yeah, exactly what you're saying. So if you're on this call, I don't know how many people are on here right now, but if you're on this call and you are not calling expired, look at how many people are on this call and look at the 2 people that are doing expires. So that might be an indication that it works. All right, so any questions about expireds? All right, so now we're going to go to everybody's favorite place to get business, and that would be your sphere of influence. And sphere of influence is fabulous. Sphere of influence is, people that love you, people that want to help you, people that people that are in your corner rooting for you. So, and those are your Mets. So if you haven't ever been to a class at Keller Williams, they're going to talk about 2 types of people. There's your Mets and there's your not Mets. So for sale by owner and expireds are your not Mets. Your sphere of influence are obviously your Mets. Those are people that you've either met, they're your past clients, they are your friends, they are your relatives. They are you do client parties. When you go to a party, you meet other people. Those are your Mets. Vendors, people that you do business with, your painter, your landscaper, your housekeeper. They're all your Mets and they're all your vendors and they're all looking and helping you and being in your corner. This is where I would highly recommend that you take a class, and it's called the 36 Touch. And you must learn what the 36 Touch is. And I'm going to give you a quick example. I do a 36 Touch. It's 12 phone calls, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September through December. I do a phone call to my database. Number 2, every month, that's another 12 touches, I send something out to them. So I may call at the first of the month, the middle of the month, I might send something out. And then at the end of the month, I do one other thing. I send an email. So that is, for me, my 36 touch. There's a class that touches on the 36 touch that will give you in-depth ways and things to talk to people about. Bottom line is you want to become somebody's, you want to become the go-to person for everybody you know when they have a question about real estate. And that includes, what is the most popular paint color right now? Where do I get a painter? Where do I get an electrician? Where do I get whatever? You want to be that person to go to. Next, we have farming. So farming are your not nets. Farming is, you can farm by zip code mailing. You can farm by school mailings. You can farm by church mailings. You can send things to your subdivision. You can send postcards. And well, who was it that said that they're on this call because of door knocking? Somebody said they were on here because they can't door knock anymore. Who was that? Hello, hello, hello? Is anybody there? Door knocking? No? Oh, well. Well, here you go. These are all part of farming. So these are other things that you can do besides door knocking in order to be able to secure a listing. And an 8x8 is another thing that you need to go and research. That's what you do after you've door knocked, or after you've sent out the mailings, or after you've talked to somebody on the telephone. Okay, next, open houses. Well, this is sad because I can't talk to you people, and you people are not interacting with me, and so I'm feeling very lonely over here.
We hear you.
Okay. Oh, Joseph, thank you so much for jumping in. I appreciate that.
This is exciting. You're doing a great job.
Okay. I'm like not getting any feedback at all, and it's like, Okay, so open houses. All right, open houses. Yeah.
And sorry, it's Debbie. Apparently Zoom has safe driving mode.
What is that?
I don't know. It switched to the safe driving mode. It could tell I was driving, and I couldn't answer. It knew I was driving, and it had this tap to speak, but you couldn't hear me. So I had to like leave and come back in. Okay. It was me that used to do door knocking.
Okay, great.
And I couldn't answer on the expired parts either. I used to do expired, but what I would do, and I kind of quit after Bold just like totally took over with that, and that was probably my drunk monkey. But I would wait until they had been expired for a week or so and let that 1,000 agents that we're going to call them get that out of the way, and then if they were still not relisted, I'd start off my call kind of like you. Well, you've probably heard it all by now from all the agents that have called you, and that kind of starts it off on a happy light. So.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I will tell you is at least touch base with them when they first come out, because they're gonna remember your name. You know what I'm saying? And then, a couple of days, because what I've found is that if I wait, they are gone. Somebody else has scooped them up, and I'm really disappointed. And if I don't do my follow-up really good with them, they're gone too. So expireds are definitely a gold mine where, you need a pick and a shovel, to get in there and start picking at it. But I got to tell you, once you start picking at it, that bucket fills up fast. I mean, it fills up fast. And, like right now, I'm like out of listings. And which is like, so I'm like, dang, I got to get to my expireds. I haven't been doing my expireds because I've been so busy doing other things, and this is bad because time blocking is extremely important. And we are going to talk about that. And that is probably one of my biggest nemesis is the time blocking, to make sure that every single day my drunk monkey doesn't interfere with my business. And, You know, life gets in the way, you know, it's just the way it is. But if you have listings and life gets in the way, you always make money. So that's a good thing. Open houses. Open houses is the next place where you can seriously make dollars. So if you are a brand new agent and you are on this call right now, my suggestion to you, and you have heard this in Bold and you have heard this in Ignite, and I got to tell you, you know, I have been coached by some of the top coaches in real estate. I've been coached by Mike Ferry and Tom Ferry and Brian Buffini and Craig Proctor. And I have actually, I feel as though really truly what Gary Keller tells you, and you know, I drank the Kool-Aid. Let's just say I drank the Kool-Aid, because what he really does focus on is he has condensed for you in a book. It sounds like I'm selling a book, and I swear to God, I'm really not. I have no interest in getting money from his book. So if I could get some, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? But that book really is, and for top agents that I know, I met an agent, and literally that book is her Bible. When I met her, she was had just had her fifth or sixth baby, and had just hit $1 million in gross commission income. Seven figures in gross commission income. That's ridiculous. And had her fifth baby. And oh, by the way, she is not a mega team. She is her mother, who's her buyer's agent, and her assistant. There were three of them. Three. Crazy, right? That is a lot of money to make when you are 9 months pregnant, or that you're pregnant for 9 months, up to that $1 million that you just gross commission income. It was hilarious. That girl door knocks every single day. And I'm going to tell you in just a few minutes what her secret is of how she got to where $1 million in gross commission income. Anyway, so open houses are definitely one of the pieces of the pie that you need to definitely concentrate on. If you're a new agent, call an old agent that's around that has listings. Everybody in the office is looking for somebody to go and do their open houses for them. The trick when you do an open house is, what is your conversion rate? You've got to know the right questions to ask at an open house with people to get them, so that this way you can convert them. Once you convert, they're yours. Whether it's be to go to their house and check out their house because they've got a house to sell, whether it's because they're just in the market looking for a property. A second thing I'm also tell you about open houses, which is kind of an interesting thing. If you want to be in a certain price point, pick an open house in that price point, because that's the price point that you're going to be working with people in. Okay, does that make sense? If you want to be a doctor, hang around with a bunch of doctors. You're going to learn all kinds of stuff. Doesn't necessarily. You have a parrot?
Yeah, I've got a couple of them, and this one was getting very jealous that I was over here ignoring her, and she was starting to scream. So I thought I'd bring her closer. So that
Oh my gosh, that is so cool!
Oh yeah.
Oh, show everybody your parrot.
Here's Fred.
Oh, he's beautiful. And what's his name?
It's a girl. Her name is Fred. She's 28 years old. I've had her since she was a little blob. A little baby.
What's her name?
Fred. She picked it.
Does she talk?
When she was a little infant, I tried, hey, Rainbow, hey, this, hey, that. She paid no attention. I said, hey, Fred. Oh, who, me? So after several times of Fred and her acknowledging that that's what she wanted to be named, she's Fred.
Can she talk?
Oh, yeah.
What can you make her say something?
No, not on demand. She's going to say what she wants when she wants to say it.
But what are the words that she knows?
Oh, she uses good language. I mean, language correctly.
Oh.
If I come home late, she'll say bad Bill.
Oh.
It's
Hi, Fred. Hi, Fred.
By your parrot.
Hi, Fred. Hi, Fred.
See,
Hi, Fred. Oh, look at that. She realizes that we're on the computer.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Fred, listen,
She's
you're
got
going to be
focus
going
on
out and calling on for sale by owners, or you're going to be at an open house soon.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
There you go. See, even Fred can make money in real estate.
Yep.
All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about, anybody have any questions about open houses? Okay, we're moving on. Circle prospecting. Circle prospecting is awesome. Circle prospecting is all about getting a list and calling people up and saying, hey, this is Ann Milano. I'm your real estate local specialist. Just want to be your go-to person for if you need a plumber or an electrician, or you need to have your roof done, whatever it is that you need. And oh, by the way, what are your real estate goals for 2020? It's amazing how you can get into a conversation with somebody about that. Now, they don't always say, I want to sell my house or I want to buy a house, but what they might say is, I want to redo my cabinets or I want to redo my countertop. And you're going to say to them, oh, let me swing by and take a look for you. And then guess what? You just turned that person into your sphere of influence. Now they're your Mets. If you're with Keller Williams and you're on this call, I would highly recommend that what you do is you go to command, put them in your command. And oh, by the way, that Met that you just met over the phone through circle prospecting, you're going to offer to give them your newsletter. And your newsletter that goes out once a month is all about their money, because your newsletter is going to focus on what? What is the one thing that people want to know about when they send out their newsletter? What's the one thing when I send out my newsletter that I make sure that I have in there? Anybody?
What's going on in your
The
neighborhood?
market.
The market. Who said that? Who said the market?
I did, Ann.
Oh, Toya. Yay. Yes, absolutely. That is the one thing that people really want to know about, because you've got to remember that in real estate, it is the WIFM channel that every single buyer and seller listens to. Does anybody know what the WIFM radio channel stands for? Bill Schulte, go.
It's what's in it for me.
That's it. You got it. Yay.
Whip 'em.
That's exactly right. Everybody wants to know what's in it for me. That's why before I go to a listing presentation, or before I go see a for sale by owner, or before I go see an expired, the first thing that I'm going to send out to those people is an email with the confirmation time and date of our appointment. And you're not allowed to say but in real estate or in Keller Williams. So I'm saying and. The other thing that is attached to that email is all about Ann Milano. It says all about them, but when they open it up, it's all about me. It's all about me and my team and my accomplishments and my biography or my resume, because actually every single time you go in front of a sale by owner, expired, sphere of influence, farming, open house, you need to have your resume at your fingertips or in your mouth, ready to come right out to let them know who you are and what you have done. Or if you're brand new in real estate, who you are and what your company has done. For those of you on this call that are with Keller Williams First Atlanta, we are the flagship office for the state of Georgia for Keller Williams. That is why it was called First Atlanta, because it was the first Keller Williams office to be created, I believe, in the state of Georgia. Am I correct, Bill?
Yes.
Okay. We are now with that name, and as well as my name and your name, you know, that is our reputation, is our name. With that name, Keller Williams First Atlanta, we are first. We are first in the Southeast. We are first in the Atlanta area, and we beat everybody else because all you have to do is go to the Atlanta Business Chronicle, get it from Clark, get it from our team leader, get it, somebody in the office will have it, and it's got the listings of every single office in Georgia. I include that in my stuff. In addition, I also include some testimonials from some buyers or sellers of what I've done. And I try to stick to folks like in whatever price point these people are. So if I'm listing a $100,000 condo, I'm going to try to give you people that I've done a $100,000, sale for. If I'm going for $1 million listing, I'm going to go ahead and put in about my $1 million clients that I've worked with. So I'm not big on $1 million listings. I am huge on $150,000 listings, because as Bill will tell you, I would rather list 10, $150,000 listings than $1 million listing, because I know that those 10 will sell in 30 days. And that $1 million one, me and those sellers are going to be looking at each other for a long time. So they better love me when they hire me, because we're going to be buddies for a while. Okay. Any question about circle prospecting? And now I'm going to go through the list of circle prospecting stuff. Hold on. All right, got a problem here. I'll tell you, this computer, I can't move this screen unless I turn it off. Where am I? Oh, dang it. Yeah, okay, so. Sorry, I got to redo it every single time. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Ooh, I hope I didn't go too far. Anybody want to say anything? Should we have a chat? Oh.
Technology is a great thing when it works.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it won't let me like use my cursor on this screen. So I can't touch anything unless I get out of what I'm doing to get over to the other thing that I'm doing. It's very annoying. I'm sure I'm just doing it wrong, I did it so it was cute. Probably next time I won't be so cute. Okay, open house. Okay, circle prospecting. Okay, so here are the different places that you can circle prospect. Open house, listing neighborhoods, your neighborhood, subdivisions, apartments, companies, builders, banks. So let's talk about this for a minute. These are the different places that you can go to do circle prospecting. So open houses, you can circle prospect. Prior to going to doing an open house, I certainly hope that you've circle prospected. Number one, I hope you've sent out postcards or done something to alert those people on every single door, or a door knocker telling them, hey, we're doing an open house, please come by. Number two, you're getting your list of circle prospecting people. Now at First Atlanta, we have the ability, Bill Schulke, can you help me out with this? At First Atlanta, they have the ability to be able to go into their back end somewhere, right? And are able to press on some button that takes them over to the Haynes directory, right?
Correct. That's in our office intranet.
Okay, so anybody that's on this call that's new, you go to the office intranet, you click on the link that takes you to the Haynes directory, you input the thing, and then you're gonna have to do the tutorial and learn how to do it, because that's as far as I can go with it. I use something else. I actually use Remine, which is also a circle prospecting tool that we have that's through First Multiple Listing Service. If you have not attended that Remind class to learn how to use that tool, I highly recommend utilizing that tool, okay? So it's really an amazing thing. Martin from New York, when you get down here, you should go definitely to the Multiple Listing Service to understand how to use it. It's probably different than the listing service you're using up there. In most states, I'm a broker in 3 states, Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. And like in South Carolina, they use the same as the Georgia multiple listing service, which is, what is the name of that thing that they use? Paragon. And they probably use Paragon up there in your neck of the woods. So the first multiple listing service is a completely different listing service. They're very cool with some of the tools that they have that you can use down here in Georgia, and they make it a lot of fun. They're also very expensive to be a party to, but they're worth it. Okay, next we have listing your neighborhoods. Okay, so for your neighborhoods, I hope that you're sending out information to your neighborhoods on a regular basis, at least 12 months out of the year. Circle process or calling them up. You get a little target, you target it, you get all those names and phone numbers, and you target those people. Your neighborhood you should be going after, not only where you have a listing, because your listing brings in brand new people that you're able to target. Your neighborhood you should definitely be targeting, because you should be talking to everybody in it. You know, funny thing was, I had a girl that was in my neighborhood, and she was so mean to me, and she was out of the office, and when I very first started, she yelled at me for getting that for sale by owner listing. It was really funny. And I went to my broker and I said, oh my goodness, I've hurt her feelings. I feel so bad. He goes, don't feel bad. He goes, she obviously didn't call them and you did. So I went back to her and I said, you know, I said, we can do this one of 2 ways. Either we can be partners. I would love to partner up with you, because she was in my office. I said, let's partner up and work the neighborhood together. And she said, no. And I said, okay, well then here we go. It's on. So every for sale by owner that comes up, I'm going for them. And so she was not happy, but I got the listings. And so people loved me because I helped improve the market value of the neighborhood. And that's kind of sort of your first listing, what you can capitalize on. If you can help people to do, you know, help their equity in their properties go up, that's a very big plus. Or you can sell their house in a very quick period of time. Those are the 2 things that people love. And so your marketing plays a big role in that. Okay. When I talk about apartments, I'm talking about obviously trying to get buyers to go and sell them a new house, so they can go into your sphere of influence, and they can be one of your past clients. And in 5 to 7 years, they will resell. And then look at that, you got another listing. Okay, companies. Anybody that you know that's in a company, give them a call, talk to their HR department. Hey, I'm here, I can help you. I will be more than happy to work with any of your, you know, folks that are moving out of town, or you're transferring them or whatever. Right now, Atlanta is a huge place for people from the Northeast to start coming down to, believe it or not. You know, people are leaving the big cities right now. You know, there's a lot of, you know, if you haven't seen the news recently, there's been a lot of things happening in the news, and people are not feeling as safe in big cities, and they're moving out more to the rural areas. That is also going to be indicative of Atlanta. So I think, I don't know, there's certain areas in Atlanta it might happen with, but some of the areas maybe not so much. Because Atlanta is not as urban as I would say as, let's say, Martin, like in a New York City. So are you finding that a lot of folks from Manhattan are looking to come out into your neck of the woods?
Absolutely. It's been really crazy here.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get political on us, but I can say that if you look past the news to the actual things that are happening in New York, folks are leaving in droves. And that's a really unfortunate thing, because I lived in New York City on 35th and 5th, and I got to tell you, I loved it, and makes me super sad to know that that's happening right now up there. It will go back, and Manhattan will come back, and it'll be awesome again. Yes, it will, but it's going to take a minute, and I get it. I understand where people are coming from. All right, builders. Calling a builder. Bill Schulte is a perfect example. He used to work with builders all the time. So builders are an awesome way to circle, prospect, and talk to people. I mean, land a subdivision. When I was in the business, like I think it was 9 months, I landed a developer with a subdivision up in Kennesaw, actually up in the Ackworth area. And my partner and I were able to work with builders and build houses, new houses. And wow, look at that. I had a whole new place where I was sitting going in for listings and buyers. So that was a very interesting adventure for me. Banks. Banks are a great place. Call on your loan officer. Talk to him about circle prospecting his people. Work with him on a dual, environment thing to get the word out to his people, that are doing mortgages, or his database, so that this way you're the realtor of choice for them. Attorneys. Make sure that you're working with attorneys. Does anybody have an idea of an attorney that you could call that would be an excellent source of circle prospecting? What their field would be as far as
Divorce.
That's a good one. What else?
Probate.
Probate, excellent. Anybody else?
Eviction.
Yep, exactly. Estate, which would be probate. Perfect. Yep. So attorneys, not necessarily your real estate attorney either. Go for the other folks. They definitely have a group of individuals that they can refer to you. Okay. Subdivisions. Obviously, circle prospecting is, I put subdivisions down twice. Okay, so forget that. I'm going to have to fix that on my little presentation. Door knocking, another circle prospecting thing. Door knocking is twice, farming and circle prospecting. When I talk about circle prospecting with door knocking, I'm talking about when you're doing an open house in that neighborhood because you had a listing. So I go, believe it or not, I can't even believe I did this last time, but I had a listing. It was tough to sell. And I went door knocking with a little package for the people. And if they weren't home, I hung my little package on their door. And I was inviting them to the open house. So that was my door knocking experience, which was a lot of fun. I met all kinds of people. And as a matter of fact, one of the people that I left the door knocker on the door, she actually had a friend, because I say, tell your friends and bring them to the open house. She actually brought her friend, and her friend came to that open house. I sold the dickens out of that house. Did they buy it? No. They wanted their own realtor. And I was like, oh my gosh, use me. But no, they didn't. They want to be represented. So I was like, everybody's got an opportunity to get represented. So they wound up going out, and I didn't hear from them for a minute. And it turns out that another Keller Williams agent captured them through their marketing, through command, through Facebook or whatever. As a buyer, they took them on and was showing them houses, showing them houses, showing them houses. And P.S., all the wife kept talking about was this one house. And guess what? That agent called me up and said, hey, my buyer wants to see your house, and she's actually seen it. Do you mind if we come back one more time? I said, who are they? And she told me, and I told her the whole story about those people. And I said, they will buy this house. And guess what? That house, after being on the market for over a year and a half, he was, guess what? An expired listing that I called up, that I got the listing. He trusted me because he'd already gone through three other realtors, y'all, 3 other realtors. And I got in there and, didn't push him, just talked to him. And he decided I was the girl for him. And he and I have been working together for a minute here. I think he's going to go through a little withdrawal when I'm not around in 2 weeks, because he's not going to be able to talk to me every day. And we got it under contract with those people, and now we're getting ready to close. And I got to tell you, that was all from door knocking that other lady went out and told somebody. I mean, it's a roundabout way how it all came together. But I was also able to explain to the buyer's agent all the key points on why this woman wanted to move into this house and into this neighborhood. So the buyer's agent, if she was smart, so I wasn't a fly on the wall, so I don't know the whole conversation, but my guess is she went back to her client and used all my talking points that I gave her in order to be able to sell that house to them. So it all comes back, and it's all does anybody know what the best script in real estate is? Can anybody tell me where they've gotten the best script to talk to anybody? Anybody? Because we all talk about scripts all day long. No? All right. Well, I'm going to give it to you. Are you ready? Are you ready? Does everybody have a pen and paper out?
Yes.
Okay. Get ready to write. Hello. There you go. That's the best script in real estate. Hello. Because guess what? By saying hello, you just made a friend. You don't even have to worry about what you're going to say next. All you have to do is tell them you're in real estate. And guess what? They're going to start talking to you, and you're going to be able to have a conversation. So the best script in real estate is hello. Okay? All right. Next. Do the 8x8 with your circle prospecting. And once again, you're going to have to look that up. The next place is obviously face-to-face. And face-to-face is the script that you use, once again, is hello. Oh my goodness, if y'all don't remember that, it's going to be hard. Door knocking, face-to-face. Network events, definitely go to those. Social functions, seminars, booths at events. Here in Atlanta, New York, I know for sure they do this. In Atlanta, we also do it. We have those, well, we're not doing it right now, which is unfortunate, but usually in the spring and usually in the fall, we usually have those little markets and stuff that people set up and go to. You know, I know Chastain Park has it. I know Murphy Candler Park has it. They do it up in Alpharetta. They do it in Marietta. They do it in Buckhead. Taste of Atlanta, taste of this, taste of that, whatever event it is, you could get a booth there and you could talk to people at that booth and you can give things away and you can sign people up, and it's amazing how that works just by getting in front of all those people. Teaching opportunities. So as a teaching opportunity to get face-to-face with y'all, I'm gonna ask everybody if y'all will do me a favor, and that is if you, once this call is over, two things. Number one, well, actually, I don't have anybody's information, so I'm not going to be able to do a survey, but I would really love if you would go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. My YouTube channel actually has a lot of really cool information, especially when it comes to for sale by owners. I do things on for sale by owners. If you watch that video of me talking about for sale by owners, and I think I was having a super bad hair day that day, so please disregard the hairdo. And just get to the conversation. And that was all about what I say basically to for sale by owners. I'm talking directly to a for sale by owner through that video, and I give them 5 points of what they need to do in order to be a successful for sale by owner. And the first thing I tell them is have a plan. And the second thing is that time is their enemy. The longer they're on the market, the longer they're for sale by owner, the more they're going to have to drop their price. And when I have that conversation with them, it's amazing how quickly they want to pay attention to what I have to say. Okay, face-to-face, business-to-business. I know agents that have gone out, you know, to the little strip malls that we have here in Atlanta, you know, and you go into the, I don't know, Korean restaurant or the Greek restaurant or the Middle Eastern restaurant, and they're in the little strip malls, and give your business card out to those folks. Show them what you've got. Talk to them. I will promote your business if you will promote my business. It's amazing. That is an untapped market for so many people. How many people go out and they're sitting at a bar? Well, I don't know if you drink, but you go out to a bar and you're sitting there talking to the barkeep and bartender. He talks to so many people every day. What would it hurt if you gave him your business cards? New York City, Mr. New York City over there, go to doormen in condo buildings. I mean, come on, hand out that business card. That woman that I told you about, how she started her business, the one that did 7 figures in real estate, how did she start her business? Every single day she went at 6 o'clock when everybody was coming home, sat in the lobby of a condo building and handed out her business card. And that's how that woman started. That's amazing. Now that's door knocking on steroids. I mean, what a cool way to be able to do something. All right, next. Social media. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So in a week, I have a birthday, actually Labor Day. So y'all will all be celebrating my birthday this year. Okay, and I am going to be, can anybody guess? Drum roll, please. I am going to be 63 years old. On YouTube, you will find that I look very different from the majority of the people that are sitting there on YouTube. I also look very different from the majority of the people that's sitting there on Facebook, which is crazy. So, I mean, except for my sphere of influence or whatever. But what my point is that no matter what your age, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, get into social media. If you are not in social media today, you are kicking yourself in the butt and you will be so sorry 12 months from now because you didn't jump on this bandwagon. So I'm going to tell y'all a story. I started my YouTube channel a little over a year ago. I had 1 subscriber, me. Now, actually, I think I had 2 subscribers, me and my daughter. When I started that Facebook or that YouTube channel, it was out of necessity because several years prior, I was showing a buyer who was living in Nashville, Tennessee, a house, and I had to do a video, and my video was too big to go into to go on an email, and so I discovered YouTube, and I created a YouTube channel. 5 years later, I think it tells me when I jumped on there. It's been a long time. 2 years ago, I said, okay, I'm going to get this YouTube thing going, and I am going to be a YouTube influencer. Oh, God. Anyway, I'm up to almost, I think, 270 YouTube subscribers. But mind you, y'all, this is not as easy as doing Facebook. Facebook, to get 100, followers or friends or whatever, that's easy to do. YouTube checks you because YouTube is a search engine. So by using a search engine, you put yourself out in a completely different place. YouTube is owned by Google. Google is a search engine. So your YouTube videos, using the right keywords and phrases and a whole bunch of other stuff, will wind you up on the perfect search for Google, which is really quite amazing. So if you go into YouTube and you say something like relocating to Marietta, Georgia, and Milano will be in the first 5 to 10 videos that you see. So it has been a long process to get there, but I got there. And those same videos eventually will show up on a Google search if video is part of the search that Google pulls to pull it over. Write this name down, and this is not a joke. It's not going to be hello. Gal's name is Karen Carr, K-A-R-I-N. Last name Carr, C-A-R-R. 2 years ago, I went to family reunion in New Orleans, and I circled, believe it or not, all of the social media information seminars, breakout sessions that they had at first reunion or at family reunion. So Karen Carr was one of the ones that I went to. Now, I wanted to be there. I wanted the front row seat. So I got to tell you, I was there probably 30 minutes before anybody else, and I was sitting in my front row seat. That class filled up like you can't imagine, and nobody could get into it. As a matter of fact, there were 100 people out in the hall trying to get in. And I had a front row seat. I was like, wow, that was a smart choice that I made. I didn't even know I was doing it. Anyway, went to that class and learned so much just from Karen. Look her up on YouTube. She has a teaching thing that she does. I mean, I'm doing a commercial here for Karen, and I promise you I get nothing from it. But she has taught me everything I know about YouTube and then some. And she has a coaching class. Please, if you go to Karen and you want to join her groups and you want to jump in with her stuff, please let Karen tell her that Ann Milano sent you, and she will she'll help you out even more because of me. Anyway, so she's an amazing person though, and I have to tell you. So social media. With that being said, just the one thing, if you want to thank me for this class, please go to my YouTube channel and just subscribe. If you hit subscribe, it helps me with the search engines, with Google search engine. When I hit 100 subscribers, I got an email from Google congratulating me on my 100 subscribers. So back to my story about YouTube and how important it is. I do a commercial for my houses, as everybody does. That commercial, I got out there and a guy saw it in Illinois. That guy actually, when he clicked on it, I captured him. So I called him directly. When I called him directly, I spoke to him, and he and his wife were in Illinois, and they had 2 babies, and they were looking for a house in Atlanta, Georgia, because they wanted to move out of where they were because it was awful. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So we chatted. He said he loved my listing. And I was like, well, you are in luck. It is available. Now, mind you guys, this is 11 days, not even, it was probably 10 days from advertising. All right, 10 days of advertising. I think he found me through, I'm not really sure how he found me, but I know he found me on YouTube. Anyway, when I talked to him, I said, well, you're moving here to Atlanta. Have you targeted where you want to live? Yes, we want to live in Marietta. We think it's really cute, but we've never been there. We've never seen it. And I said, great. I said, let me get you qualified with my lender. And then if you don't want to come to Atlanta to look at houses, I'll show you houses on my phone. And they were like, oh, okay, that sounds awesome. So they got their iPad set up, and the 2 of them are watching me on their computer and their iPad. I've got my phone in my hand. I loaded it onto my dashboard so that it could sit there. And I literally, just like as if I put a buyer in my car, put them in my car and drove around, showed them the little town of Marietta, showed them the little town of Alpharetta. They decided Marietta was more their style. I drove them to, they chose 3, I did a portal search for them on the multiple listing service. They chose 3 houses, mine and 2 others. We went to the 2 other houses first. Those houses they didn't really care for. We went to my house. They loved it. Guess what? That day they put an offer in full price. I was like, all right. So we put the offer in. My seller obviously accepted it. It was for full price, and it was 11 days after we put it on the market. She was happy. 30 days later, we closed it. During that time, we did the home inspection. I walked them through on my phone, doing the home inspection with the home inspector, asked the home inspector all kind of questions. They asked the home inspector all kind of questions. They got their report, which was awesome. I hooked them up. Before I ever put them in my car, though, mind you, I hooked them up with my lender, okay? Because I'm not about to put anybody in my car until they've talked to a lender first, and the lender has told me that, they can move forward. So just remember that. Don't ever put anybody in your car, whether it's from the internet or whether it's from the guy sitting next to you and he tells you, oh yeah, I'm good with my credit. Don't believe him. You send it to your loan officer. When your loan officer says you're good to go, you're good to go. Then you go. So wrote up the offer, sent over everything over to my seller. My seller accepted it, put them under contract, did the inspection on my Facebook, on my FaceTime, did everything through FaceTime until the day before closing. They drove to Atlanta. That was the first day that they saw their new house. The guy texted me afterwards to tell me how unbelievable it is that I was able to help them to secure such a gorgeous house for him to be able to raise his family in. I mean, my heart just like broke. I had tears in my eyes from that little text message. It was incredible. I just felt so great. Following day, we masked up. We went to the closing. They closed, and now they are moved into their property. So, correct internet marketing works with social media. I am a perfect example of it. Guess what? My mindset when it comes to social media is what? Way up there. Facebook, definitely. YouTube, definitely. Instagram, definitely. Twitter is amazing. LinkedIn and Snapchat. Those are your avenues. There are a few others that are out there. My personal favorites are YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Facebook is all about the boosting and target marketing. YouTube, it's all about the content and getting it out there on a regular basis. Instagram is all about your hashtags. Your hashtags in Instagram are the most important thing that you will ever do with your Instagram posts. And Instagram posts will open the door for other people to be able to see your posts about real estate if you use, drum roll please, the location thing. So whenever I'm talking about real estate, and let's say I'm in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia, I use my locator to put on that Instagram story in the location that I want to talk about. And you'll see, you know how you can see everybody that comes to Instagram that's looked at your story? I get people that are, let's say, Marietta, Georgia, okay? If I use that as a location, I'll get at least like 5 to 10 hits from people that look for location. Like that's one of the things that they look for stories for them to look at. Kind of interesting the way that goes. Instagram's kind of you got to learn how to use it. And I'm not really a good teacher when it comes to that. I think we have somebody in the office that does a program on that. So I would highly recommend going to that person. Any questions on social media? All right, let's move on. How to make the fastest money. So we're going to go fast here because I feel like I'm talking forever. Pipeline. Your database and your sphere, for every 8 people that you talk to, you're going to get 1 good lead. Acquaintances, 15 to 1. For every 15 people you talk to, you're going to get 1 good lead. Circle prospecting, 35 to 1, guys. Those are expired and for sale by owners. You have to have a very stiff upper lip when you're dealing with for sale by owners and expired. Bill Schulte, am I telling the truth?
Absolutely. But you know what? You don't know them. So when they reject you, it's no loss. You've got everything to gain and nothing to lose.
That's exactly right. And the way I look at every single no I get from a circle prospecting person or a for sale by owner or an expired, glass half full kind of girl. Mine is, oh, good. That was my no. I need to get to my yes. Know your conversion ratio. Okay, next. Now money. Where's the fastest money? Believe it or not, in the for sale by owners and the expireds. A lot of times when you're dealing with your database, sphere of influence, and acquaintances, they're not ready to buy or sell today. But you definitely know that a for sale by owner and expired is out there raising their hands. Right, Bill? Okay. Your efforts today pay off in 90 days. What you do today will get you a paycheck in 90 days. What is the formula to becoming a listing machine? Everybody wants to know that, right? What's the secret sauce? Does everybody see their little picture? Some people see their names. Some people put their photo. That is the formula to becoming the listing machine. It's you. You are the formula. Now, what do you have to do to get there? Your vision. What are your intentions? Do you intend to pick up the phone and dial it? What is your conversion ratio? Your conversations, and who are you talking to? The formula to get to a 7-figure income is to actually speak with 20 people a day. You might dial 100, but you actually have to talk to and get in front of 20 people a day. All of those people are potential buyers and sellers. They may not be today's buyer and they may not be today's seller, but they will be at some time in the next 2 to 5 to 7 years, without a doubt. So when you get them into your database and lock them into you as the preferred person, you've got them. Appointments. If you talk to 20 people a day, you're going to be able to secure 7 appointments a week. Would you say that that's about right, Bill?
It depends on the conversations that you're having, but it is possible.
Correct. It totally depends on, that's why I told everybody to look at your little square, because your little square determines your ratio. Okay? Agreements needed. You need 5 agreements. You need to be able to get 4 contracts to be able to close 3 deals. Your efforts today pay off in 90 days. So, what are the 3 things that interfere with an agent becoming a listing machine? Time blocking and sticking to it. As you heard me say at the beginning of this call, one of my biggest nemesis is my calendar, because sometimes I deviate, and that is not a good thing to do. You have got to time block and you have got to stick to it. When I talk about time blocking, I'm talking about from the time you open your eyes in the morning until the time that you close your eyes at night. I'm not talking about time blocking for business. I'm talking about time blocking for your life. I'm talking about saying, I wake up at 7:30. From 7:30 to 8, I'm gonna take my shower. I'm gonna have my coffee. I'm gonna do my little things around the house, whatever. At 8 o'clock, I'm gonna, be dressed and doing this or whatever. And so I'm talking about every minute of the day is itemized out. And that's crazy. Let me tell you, that is hard to do. But you've got to plan for that night out with your special person. You've got to plan for that time with your family. You've got to plan for the bath time with your children. And right now, during this COVID time, you've got a plan to be in the house to help your child. Several people on this call said that they had to change their name because they gave their computer to their kid because they needed to have it for their class. That's so hard. I promise you that if you create a calendar in your phone, a Google Calendar, an iCalendar, whatever calendar it is you use, and you stick to it, money will follow. But sticking to it is what that other gal called out, and she called it her drunk monkey. So if you've ever been to a bold, you know what a drunk monkey is. And a drunk monkey are all those people that steal that time from you. All those people that, I know people that go into their office, they close that door, they hang a sign on it that says, making money or dialing for dollars, do not disturb. Okay, number 2, consistency. Isn't that amazing? Consistency. Fortune is in the follow-up, and you must be consistent about time blocking and sticking to your schedule. So, Bill, I'm going to ask you a question. Sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot again. What time do you prospect? Like in your calendar, every single day, I know that you have a specific time outline to time block.
8:30 to 11:30.
There you go. 8:30. How many hours is that, Bill?
3.
3? Is that 3? Okay. So they tell you that you need to time block to prospect for 3 to 4 hours. Okay. So Bill does it from 9:30 to 11:30. I mean, from 8:30 to 11:30. I do it from 9 to 12. Those are my 3 hours. Okay. Now, why do we do that in the morning? Well, Bill and I know that if we do that in the morning, there's a really good opportunity that we'll be able to schedule an appointment for that afternoon. So that's how our calendar is set up. Now, some people don't have the luxury of being able to do that. Some people are going to have to time block. Whoo, that was a bird. Some people are going to have to time block in the afternoon. That's fine. Just reverse it. There is no good time to be on the phone. The best time to be on the phone is when you can do it. The best time to be on the phone or to be in front of people is when you can do it. Okay, next. And consistency is super important. You got to do it every single day, and you have to be dedicated to do it. I mean, I'm dedicated every single day to time blocking and to doing my time to make phone calls. Follow up. You've heard this. Anybody that's been in sales, I mean, this goes back to whoever the first sales trainer was on the planet, and he said the fortune was in the follow-up. I'll tell you another one in real estate that's been around I've been doing it for 25 years, and it was here before me. And that is, if you list, you will last in real estate. Those are the 2 things that you should remember: follow up and list to last. Your efforts today will do what? Pay off in 90 days. So if you are consistent about time blocking, and time blocking is going to give you the opportunity to either call your sphere of influence or circle prospect or call for sale by owners or whatever piece of the pie you decide is good for you, those efforts, if you do it on a consistent basis every single day and you follow up with those conversations that you have, I want everybody to tell me how much money they make in 90 days if you actually follow this formula. I'm on Facebook. Feel free to friend request me. And don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. One more commercial. All right, picking a price point. Everybody wants to pick $1 million listing. Is there anybody on this call or on this meeting that does not want to do $1 million listing? I don't see anybody. So somebody yell out, I do.
I do.
Yay! Okay. So now I'm going to tell you why you don't.
I know it's a setup.
It is a setup. Okay. So watch this. Picking a price and days on market equals the income. Okay. So the $1 million listings days on market. Does anybody know what the typical days on market right now for $1 million listing is? I'm going to tell you probably 12 months.
Too long.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Too long.
Oh, too long. Yes. There you go. Too long. Right. But everybody wants one. So here's my little pyramid. Oh, oh gosh. Wait a minute. Oh gosh. Wait a minute. Wait. We gotta wait. Oh, don't look. Nobody look. Close your eyes. All right, I gotta put this thing down here. Okay, let's go back to
It
playing.
was so tempting.
I
Sorry.
know, so don't look. Okay, here we go. Okay, picking a price. Okay, here we go. There's the pyramid. All right, there's all our little lines. Okay, so here's the first price point, $100,000. Look how many people can afford it. 200,000. Look how many people can afford that. Look how many people can afford a $300,000 listing. Look how many people can afford a $400,000 one. 500,000, 600,000. So are y'all getting this? As you climb that pyramid, more and more people drop out. So by the time you get to the $1 million listing, how many people do we have left? So the percentage of people, the higher up you get, gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And that is so incredibly frustrating. So with that being said, in wrap up here, you can do it. Because if I can do it, anybody can do it. I mean, I started without a car. Oh, and by the way, Martin, I have to give you kudos over there in New York City, because believe it or not, when I lived in New York City, I met a guy by the name of Cushman, Leon Cushman. I think you probably know who he is, from Cushman and Wakefield. And my mother talked me into getting my real estate license in New York. And I lived in Manhattan, and I have to tell you, that is one of the hardest markets on the planet to make money in, is the Manhattan real estate market. I know that you see all these programs on TV and, oh, they make it look so easy. And I actually knew Barbara Cochran. But I have to tell you that that is one dang tough market. And I never sold, I was number 12 this month. I never sold a nickel of real estate in Manhattan, not one nickel. Now my mother did, but I never sold 5 cents worth of real estate. And I showed quite a bit. And you want to know what the problem was? And everybody on this call needs to hear this. The problem was my mindset. I had a horrible time going into a pre-war building in Manhattan, showing a studio apartment that was happened to be on Park Avenue or wherever, Fifth Avenue. And it was a $250,000 apartment. It was 500 square feet. I mean, really, it was the size of, it was smaller than our kitchens in Atlanta. When I got to Atlanta and saw the real estate, I was just like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. I can talk everybody into this. And I did. And I was the #1 agent out of my office previously with another company for many years. Various different things happened. Anyway, I wound up at here, and in January, I was the #1 agent out of Keller Williams First Atlanta, and this month I'm the number 12 agent out of Keller Williams First Atlanta. So that was really cool. I'm excited. I don't do it every month, but on the months I do it, I try to do it big. Oh God. And I was number 13 in the Southeast region for the month of January, which that was beyond amazing. And I have to tell you, in order to do that, I was so humbled by it. You just don't even know. And I swear to all of y'all that the stars and the moon and everything else just aligned perfectly. And yeah, that happened. And and nobody was more surprised by it than I was. As a matter of fact, when I was the #1 agent out of my other office, and the first time I did it, this agent walked by and he goes, I didn't know you were that busy. And I said to him, I didn't know I was either. And that was for the year. And I was just like, oh my God, that's really quite interesting. Anyway, my point is have a plan. I had a plan. I knew what I wanted to do and I did it. Time block. If I've learned anything at Keller Williams over the last 2 years that I've been here, is that time blocking is the key to successful real estate. So when I was the #1 agent out of another office, my time blocking was super important. I had a little girl, because you got to remember, I started real estate as a single mom with a 2-year-old. And it was just incredible. And I had to time block like crazy because I only had a limited amount of time that I could talk to people. So I had from 8 o'clock in the morning when I dropped her off at school until 3 o'clock in the morning, until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, where I had to go stand in line at get in line at the school to pick her up. And then we had time to talk and chat and love each other. And then she went to a tennis lesson for an hour. So I got another hour. Then we went home and had dinner, and then it was late. And then that at night I would do my marketing after she went to bed. So that was the way that my life went for 20 years, 18 years, 19 years of her life, while I tried to sell real estate. I mean, it was really quite amazing. And I cannot tell you how many times my clients, I would say to them, oh, by the way, I hope you don't mind, but my daughter is going to have to come with us. One time, y'all, I was showing a house and I accidentally locked her in and left her there. Oh God, that was horrible. Anyway, and I was with a police officer who was the buyer. It was hilarious. Anyway, life is just a ball of, I think what did Forrest Gump's mother used to say, life is a box of chocolates and just never know what you're going to get. So I will tell you that if you look at real estate as an adventure and you have a plan, you time block, you give yourself affirmations every morning. Because I got to tell you, there are times when I pick up this phone to dial for dollars and I cannot tell you how much it weighs. It can sometimes weigh, right, Bill Schulte? Sometimes that telephone weighs about 500 pounds. 500 pounds until I make that first phone call. And when I make that first phone call, all of a sudden I realize, what was I so scared of? You know, it's actually just a person on the other side. I just have to get them to like me. Know your scripts. I would highly recommend, if you've been to Bold, get those scripts out, dust them off, get busy. If you've been to Ignite, get those scripts out. All the scripts are good. And as I told you, the #1 script that you can use, I learned from a guy by the name of Clark Davey. And he said it was hello. And I agree with him full-heartedly. More importantly than the scripts, because sometimes we go off script. More importantly than the script, know your objections. Know how to be an objection handler. Know what to say to somebody when they say, well, I already have an agent. Know what to say to somebody when they say to you, oh, I'm going to list with my mother, or I'm going to list with my second cousin of my third cousin's cousin. Know what to say, because those objections that you get are really the way that you win the listing. Look at that guy. Look at that guy that had gone through, what, 3 other realtors, and he actually gave me the opportunity because he trusted and believed in me. So obviously whatever I was saying to him hit home. And really, truthfully, when I go into somebody's house, the only thing they really see about me is what you've seen about me on this call. And that is that I care about what I'm doing. And I truly care about this little training session that we put together. And I care about whether or not each one of you will go out and be successful doing it. And so you all are welcome to call me anytime you want, ask me any question that you want about any of it. I'm more than happy to answer for you. Be friends with me on Facebook. subscribe to my YouTube channel. big commercial right there again. But definitely whatever question that you might have, I am more than happy to answer. Dialing for dollars. I call it dialing for dollars. Picking up this phone is dialing for dollars every single day. Why is my phone like not there? That's weird. Okay. Dialing for dollars every day is super important. Actually connect and speak with 10 to 20 people. I don't care if you're calling your mother, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, half your family, whatever. Make the other half of the family that you're calling people that you want to bring into the family, okay? And people that you want to make lifelong relationships with, people that you want to believe in you and trust you. Because if you come from the heart, I can assure you, and you believe in the product that you're selling, that will come across to that individual, all right? And last but not least, by dialing for dollars and talking to 10 to 20 people a day, guess what? Miracles will happen. You will actually set appointments to get in front of people. Now, the conversion ratio is on you. The conversion ratio is going to be on you. It's going to be how many appointments can you make? How many people can you get in front of? Once you get in front of those people, can you convert them over to you? And that's all about your conversation that you're going to have with them. So I'm going to go back to another very important point. Number 5, know your objections. And understand that an objection is not a no. An objection is a question. How you handle the question will determine whether or not the answer will become a no or a yes. That makes sense? All righty. Now, we're going to end this call with a really cute little uplifting video, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to answer anybody's questions, okay? Everybody good with that? All right, here we go. Hold on a second. Can y'all hear me? I'm back.
Yes.
Yay! Sorry about that. I do not know what just happened. So what I'm going to do is, Nick, I guess I can still share my screen.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. So what I'll do is I'll just start my video. Wait a minute. Ooh, don't stop. Okay, go back. I don't want anybody to see it yet. Wait a minute. Stop. Okay, wait a minute. All right, let's see if this is. Wait a minute, this is the wrong one. Sorry. Here it is. Okay, this is what I'm going to show you. Now let me get to the Zoom call. Where are we? There we are. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, and here we go.
Oh no! It's too deep. He'll never make it. No, never. The rain. No! The rain will fill the hole, and then they can swim out. Stop jumping! We have a plan!
Stop! We're going to wait for the rain to fill the hole. Why aren't you listening to them?
You'll never make it! It's too high! You can't do it! It's too
Listen
deep!
to him.
Save your strength! Don't even try. Just stay there.
Thank you.
Encouraging? He's done. Come on! You can make it! Jump! 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 Jump!
So what'd y'all think?
Good.
Yeah, it's really quite amazing, isn't it? So I'll tell you, if you put your mind to it, there isn't anything that any of y'all can't do that all of us have thought about and dreamed about and wanted to do and maybe thought we couldn't do, but I can assure you, you can. All you have to do is put your mind to it and everybody can do exactly what they want to set up to do. Does anybody have any questions?
I know it may be difficult, but one of your screens before the vision, is there any way that you can show that display again, the total display on that one?
Which one was that?
It was before the vision
Screen.
PowerPoint.
Shoot.
So the PowerPoint when you were sharing it, I just know it's before the vision, it was after the money pie.
It was after my money pie and before the vision. Okay.
Yes, the vision was what is the formula
Well,
to
actually,
become.
you know what? I think this, shoot, I don't even know what I just did. I'm like completely Zoom to fit. I don't know what I'm doing here.
You was going pretty fast on that one, and then you clicked over to vision.
Let me see here. Let's see. Before the vision.
It's before the vision.
Okay, so that was how to make your pipeline. That was how to do.
Right. Yeah, if you can pull that back up.
If I can pull that back up for you. Does anybody else have any questions? Is that what you're looking for?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And
Yes.
hi,
That's it, yes.
with us.
Hold on one second. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay, go ahead.
Do you mind sharing with us how congratulations, first of all, on being number 12 in the office. Do you mind sharing how you got that business, like the ways from the pie that you received that business to be number 12?
Oh God, I mean, I'll tell you a story that just happened to me. I mean, it was like beyond amazing. So, I'm kind of weird. I just talk about real estate all the time. I mean, anybody that knows me knows I'm in real estate. And who am I talking to, by the way?
Sure, this is Brittany Leapart.
Brittany. Oh, Brittany, can you turn your video on?
No.
Okay, come on. Okay. All right, no problem. Well, here's what I'll tell you. And Bill, I'm sure he does also, talks to everybody. I talk to everybody. I mean, there isn't anybody that doesn't know that I'm in real estate. And if I meet you, you know I'm in real estate.